Where are they for New Year's? You got a couch? You got a floor? Offer it. Because you don't know. Unless you ask, do you have somewhere to go? You just don't know. It's been 11 years and it still hurts like it was yesterday. And I miss him. I miss him something dear and fierce. So remember that. Christmas is next week. If you don't have somewhere to go talk to your friends. Because just the act of being asked drops the suicide rate by 80%. Just the act of asking can stop it. If you've got a couch, if you've got an inflatable mattress, if you've got a floor and a sleeping bag, it is better to be awkward than to be alone. And you all know I'm right. You would rather have awkward sweaters and weird gift cards and a strange dinner on a paper plate than to sit at your house alone by yourself and have nothing. Wouldn't you want that for your friends too? And how many of us are just like Gallus, where we don't know where we're spending Christmas. We don't know where we're spending New Year's. I never know where I'm spending them. Especially the last 2 years. I've had nowhere and nothing. I was supposed to spend it with my wife. Well, what do you do when the country your wife is in won't let you in? And you try to make alternative plans, and instead you just end up locked in your room because that's the safest thing to do. Check with your friends. Make sure they have somewhere. And if they don't, figure something out. Even if it's a video call. Or them spending the holidays with a friend of a friend. It is so much better than being alone. I've got a few more slides, and I've got about 20 minutes, give or take. Now we're going to talk about divorced parents, because guess what? The most common source of not wanting to go home for the holidays is mom and dad are fighting. I swear I'm going to kill Google one day. Again, original clip I had to go steal. Because this clip is altered in the Netflix version. And I prefer original data that aired.
Son, there you are. Your friends told us how you've been feeling.
And we're sorry if we ever made you think you had to choose between.
This is an allegory for divorced parents.
That wasn't our intention, honey.
I wish this voice actor was actually here to see this.
Heritage is something to be proud of, certainly.
But you're more than just where you're from or who you live with. We love you because you're you, no matter where you choose to be.
You don't have to decide. You can keep doing what you've been doing, going back and forth.
That's a wonderful compromise.
Places.
Something we forgot to add that both places have. Family and friends who love you.
Thanks for everything. Hey, are you glowing?
We seem to forget something. The most traumatizing question that can ever be asked of a child is, do you want to live with mom or dad? It's usually asked by a judge. It is the worst thing you can do to a child. I get it. There's domestic abuse. That's fair. You're fighting each other, and that's a problem. That's fair. The sins of the parent do not pass to the sins of the child. Period. You once loved that person enough to make a kid. I don't know how, I don't know why, and I don't know what your decisions were to that point, but you're now responsible. Both of you. Suck it up. Make a compromise. Figure it out. Make it work. And stop trying to get at each other using your child as a weapon. That's not fair. They didn't do anything wrong. They shouldn't be punished for your mistakes. That takes a lot, by the way. But the greatest image I ever saw from 2019 was a football field. We call it soccer. With 4 people sitting down, wearing the same blue shirt, but with different text on the back. Mom, stepdad, stepmom, dad. They had just enough space between them for their kid to come sit down when he was done. They made an agreement that it's okay to disagree, but it's not okay to take it out on them. Figure it out. Go to counseling. The last thing you want is to give your child a mental disorder because of your mistakes. And you really don't want to make the mistakes of your parents. You want to make all new ones, because that's the fun part. Let's keep going. I told you this rabbit hole was going to go far. This isn't even the final lesson, because guess what? There's an addendum. But there is a final lesson from the show. A final piece of the puzzle. And it happens in 10 seconds. Blink and you miss it. The show began by opening a book on an open field and ended by closing it. But we all remember what was in the book. We read it. We watched it. We enjoyed it. Anytime you begin a relationship, whether it be with a TV show, the person next to you, or a friend across the ocean, or your boss, it doesn't matter. You come with the innate exception that relationship is eventually going to terminate. That's a finite terminate, by the way. It doesn't restart after that point. In human communications, we refer to this as the paradox of relationships. It literally means that we seek them out, we desire them, but we understand they are fleeting and will end. That end can be a fight. It can be a dissolution of interest. It can be a separation. It can be a moving away, or it can be a death. But this is the important part. Every relationship you've had with everyone has changed them in some way, for better or worse. And every relationship everyone's had with you has created you, and has modified you, and has made you a different person. You become the living legacy of that relationship, and in some cases, the living, breathing history of a human being. I have a bunch of people who have passed away, who I was friends with when they passed away. So long as I continue to touch other people and change them, they live on vicariously through me. No one is ever truly dead. They simply have taken a new form in that of how they have changed the people who came after them. And now we're going to talk about death. Because it seems so finite, so fitting to talk about an end. Death has many stages.
Many animals hibernate to conserve
It
energy.
takes a lot to get through all of them.
It's like taking a really
My Little Pony does it in one episode.
And
Every
then
stage of
they
grief.
And see, even tauruses do it. When the time comes,
And in this 2-minute clip, we're going to see them all.
ground. But don't worry, he'll reappear when the spring sun warms the ground back up.
Come on!
Denial.
Don't hibernate? Some pony put that picture in there as a joke.
It's not a joke.
Well, then your book must be wrong.
Rainbow Dash, Tank needs to hibernate. It's healthy for him, just like
She's right.
it's healthy for us.
Whatever. Okay, thanks. Come on, Tank. Snuggly, snuggly, getting ready to hibernate.
Anger.
Don't say that word.
Which one? Snuggly? Pluggly? Snakey? Hibernate?
That one.
I was just saying how cute.
If you think you know, that napping thing is so cute. Why don't you go do it? Somewhere far away from here. Well,
Have you ever bargained so hard you tried to change the climate of the earth?
just have to stop winter.
How are you feeling, Rainbow Dash?
Depression.
Poor thing looks so sad. Just what are we going to do? I don't know what we can do.
Buck up, Sugar Cube. You just ain't yourself these days.
Whatever.
Acceptance.
I think so. I feel better. Really, I do. Thanks, every pony.
And one final
For
stage.
what I'd do without you.
Hope.
Him. Oh, Tank. I'm sure gonna miss you.
There's a very simple riddle. I shine brightest in the darkness, yet I admit no light. What am I? Hope. It's strange to say, but without me, you are completely lost. What am I? Hope. We survived 2020. We're still making it through a plague. Rainbow Dash goes through every stage of grief in a 20-minute episode. Sometimes in the most ridiculous, cartoonish ways, but she still does it. Some of us didn't make it. My best friend, his name was Von Holtz. Notice it was. He died of COVID in March. I screamed. I screamed so loud that the neighbors called the cops. I went to his funeral and I broke his brother's jaw. I was that mad. Because his brother didn't take this seriously. His brother went to church without a mask, came home, gave COVID to the entire family. His mom told his brother while he was on the ground, go ahead and call the cops. I'll say I did it because you deserve that. That's how upset with him we are. I miss him. I miss a lot of people. One of the people who makes stuff for my table right now has COVID. He's vaccinated, thankfully. But I don't know if I'm going to hear from him today or not. Or tomorrow. Or the next. One of my voice actors got it. People who work on my audiobook got COVID. He got over it. He still can't taste anything. It's been 2 months. He still can't taste anything. That might be permanent. This past 2 years, we have endured a lot of sadness and grief and a collectivized trauma. All you have to do is say COVID and everyone flinches. Everyone feels something. Whether that something is fear, regret, sadness, or a giant fat pot of depression and disillusion that you didn't get to have what you wanted for 2 years. However, there's still hope. You're still breathing. That's a bargain I'm willing to take. We're still breathing. I go get a COVID test this afternoon, third one this weekend, because it's required by England that I get COVID tested every day I might have been exposed leading up to my trip. Again, I have no guarantee that I'll even be allowed on the plane still. But I do it because I hope. I come here to see you guys because I hope that one day we don't have to wear masks at these conventions anymore. It'll be optional. I'm still fighting. And that's important because it leads to one question. Many people understand that in Eastern cultures they worship their ancestors. It's not worship in the sense that you have to follow in their footsteps. That's wrong. It's worship in the sense of a single question. One question. Would they say they're proud of you? That's it. That's the only question you have to answer. Would my spotter Rickles, would my best friend Von Holtz stand on this stage right now and say they're proud? I hope so. And if they wouldn't, I need to fix it. Welcome to Brony Church, where a show taught us how to be adults again. I'm going to fix this slide real quick, assuming Google will let me. But in the meantime, I'll start taking questions. Now, I don't have business cards. You wanna know why? Because just like me, you put them in your pocket, you forget they're there, they go through the washing machine, and then they're useless. Everyone here has a phone, and I'm going to use the Blizzard line. Don't you have phones? You probably do, and you could probably take a picture. Or you can go on right now and log into those. By the way, I have to fix the Discord link too, because we have something really cool now. But in the meantime, who has a question? And please leave that slide up. Yeah, we got a Vanity Discord link about a month ago. Now, before I take this question, I want everyone to understand something. I came here because I wanted to. I ran 7 panels. I was on 9 of them total. I still have to do the charity auction this afternoon. I'm going to throw out my voice. I already know I am. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to find out if I still get to go see my wife. And I still don't land in England until Wednesday morning. And until I'm through border security, there are no promises. Panels like this, and all the other things I ran, the voice actors who work for me, the film editor who's in the front row whose computer I'm borrowing, that's only possible with your support. I run a table in the vendor hall because I want to give you a physical thing for your support. I keep less than 1% of the money that goes through it. The rest of it gets dumped back into projects to get access to research materials, to get access to academic journals, to pay voice actors, to pay video editors, to pay for software they need, to just make everything work. And now I have to get on a plane. And I don't know if my plane ticket will be any good tomorrow. That's a really scary thought. Because if my plane ticket's no good tomorrow, and I don't sell at least half the books on my vendor table, my employees are not getting Christmas bonuses because I'll have to buy a plane ticket home. So hopefully I'll see some of you over there. Now in the meantime, the gentleman in front here in blue has the first question.
What kind of fun content was there that didn't make the cut in this panel?
What kind of content was there that didn't make the cut in this panel? 6 slides. One of them talks about communism. One of them talks about how you interact with people of power and how you can't really do anything about it. And a couple of others. The kind of content that was cut was the kind of content I realized that if I presented would just make you feel bad because you realize you can't do anything about it. And I wanted to give you content where you realize that you can make the change and do something about it. And if I had more time, a full 2 hours, this would have 20 more slides because there's a list of slides I want to add and I just can't. An hour and a half is a lot to ask from a convention, and I'm very thankful to the man in the pirate hat in the back. Anyone else? You can ask anything. I'm not going to be mad. I'm going to put my mask back on because I think I'm done crying. Yes? How am I? Terrified. That's a good answer. Alive. That's about it. What was that?
They're trying to make the way of the world, do the best you can with what you got.
Exactly. I'm figuring it out as I go, kind of rolling the dice and hoping they keep coming up boxcars. That was a craps joke. Nobody plays craps anymore. Anybody else? I can hardly see. Going once? Going twice? Yes.
Can I give you a hug?
When I get off stage. Anyone else? All right. I will hopefully see you in the vendor hall or at the charity auction. Because I'm going to be up here with Foley and we're going to have fun. But in the meantime, have a good rest of your con and check on your friends. Thank you. Also, you're going to want to charge this microphone. I killed it.
We've been eating batteries all weekend.
marathon and then run a Die Hard movie premiere.